Should I fix you some sandwiches?
I don't want any fucking sandwiches. What is it with you fixing fucking sandwiches?
Hello and welcome to Food to Watch Films by Episode 12.
Episode Zwolf.
Yes, indeed. Zwolf.
Yeah.
And if you've not listened to this podcast before, basically we talk about films we've watched and recommend food that we think would help to heighten and enhance your experience of watching that film. We're currently in the German beer market in Berlin, of all places. Yes, getting freaky.
Yep, I'm currently chowing down a Zwolf-inch Wurst, which is delicious, I have to say.
Very much merry is being had right now. But yeah, if you happen to listen to the last episode, you might have heard that me and Adam got kidnapped, shall we say, by a very odd Nazi.
Yeah, his credentials confused us to a degree. But yeah, I mean, it's all academic now because that motherfucker's dead.
Yeah, he did.
He dead.
Yeah, basically he took us because he wanted us to use our voodoo reincarnation skills to bring back alive the Führer. Yeah, he did. We're not up for that. Führer had his time.
Yeah, exactly. We felt that he held us at gunpoint, but we bided our time, and Colombian necktie the motherfucker.
He did. It was pretty savage.
It was brutal. I'm not even joking. It's Pablo would have been proud.
Yeah. He was kind of held us in this like smelly dungeon, and then just when he wasn't, he had his back turned for a moment, and you were straight in there.
Yeah, to be fair, he was a dick. He's a freaking neo-Nazi. There's no redeemable qualities about a neo-Nazi or any such form of fascism or racism. Exactly. So, a moral quandary is murder, right, in any circumstances. I'm not suggesting it is. Well, but he probably would have killed us at some stage. And survival.
Had he made us reincarnate the Führer, who would have known what?
Exactly. Who knows we could have saved like millions from that. Yeah, exactly. The term hero is overused, but I think in this instance, probably justified. But it's all academic now because we are in.
Yes.
We're in the Christmas spirit.
We are.
We are in the German market.
Yes. Having a couple of Weissbiers.
Yeah.
And so when conveniently we've decided to do a theme for this episode of Bad Santas. Yeah. Just to really get in the Christmas spirit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we could have gone down the traditional route and just gone, for basic Christmas classics, but it's boring, isn't it? We wanted to kind of assess the more cynical side of Christmas, if you like. I mean, at the end of the day, what's the worst that could happen, hey Johnny?
Yes. Let's cheers to that one.
Hey!
Oh dear.
Dankjewel.
Oh god.
Is that Dutch, Dankjewel?
I have no idea.
Danke.
Oh god, I feel a bit sick actually. It might be that breakfast earlier. Anyway, so there was a bit of a personal question I wanted to ask you, Adam.
Yeah. No subject is too taboo. You know that, Gemma?
Do you believe in Santa?
Yeah. I mean, why would you bring that into question?
I don't know. A lot of people don't. I mean, I'm a bit undecided, to be honest with you.
Nah, man. He's like, have you seen the Coca-Cola adverts? He's jolly old St Nic. He's there, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I've heard other stories about him, to be honest. I got a friend I went to school with actually years back. One Christmas Eve he stayed up all night, wanting to. See if you could catch a glimpse of Santa. Did you ever do that?
Yeah, of course. I still do now, and I'm in my 30s, but...
He thought he heard something in the night and poked his head round the door, but he didn't really see much. But the next morning he rushed downstairs, he didn't wait for his mum and dad to get up, and he started unwrapping his presents because he was just a bit greedy, I think. And his parents were in the boxes, chopped up.
Well, is in the box in the Christmas presents. They were sliced and diced.
head
Or like
and a
7.
hand in one. Yeah, pretty dark because he'd asked for a Nintendo. And instead he just got his dad's torso and intestines, and but there was powdery white footprints nearby, a half-eaten carrot. He swears to this day that it was Santa, but no one believes him, and he got locked up.
Could have been like a rabid reindeer or something who broke in at the carrot and then killed them all, and then I see the issue with the boxing up, actually.
But no, they didn't believe him. He swears down that it was Santa. Santa exists. That it was Santa who killed his parents. But they don't believe him. So that was pretty harsh.
Yeah, it sounds pretty brutal.
Yeah. But the most horrific part of the tale was that when he had opened the box, he found they'd actually left the receipt in there. Yeah.
Well, this kind of leads nicely actually into the top 5.
Yeah.
Because obviously, we're focusing on the more cynical bad Santa aspect of Christmas, and shall we go into the top 5?
I guess so.
Cause this is Adam's top 10. 5. So we'll come to Adam's top 5 bad Santas. As I say, we're disregarding all the good guys. We're focusing on the bad Santas, the really shitty Santas.
Yeah.
And
bastards, brawlers,
exactly.
ballers.
You know what? And we're not thinking. You might think bad Santas. You might think guys like the Grinch, for example. The Grinch. He's not bad, dude.
He is so naughty.
But is he? Because at the end of the story, his heart grows 3 sizes, and he redeems himself.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got Jack Skellington in The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
He doesn't get into this list.
No.
Because again, he's got redeeming features. He actually saves Christmas at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Even Billy Bob Thornton in Bad Santa. Again, he's got a heart of gold when it comes down to it. So
rather tame compared to the real bad Santas.
With the real bad Santas, and this list is reserved for those guys, and it's not surprising we think of bad Santas. I mean, Santa Claus as a mythos in general, it's pretty creepy. I mean, you've got a guy who makes a list of children. Yeah, he watches them sleep. He knows when they're sleeping. He knows when they're awake.
Sneaks in the house.
I mean, immediately you're thinking, these are attributes of a potential predator.
Yeah. And he's the figurehead.
Home invasion on a mass scale.
Yeah.
He only works 1 day a week,
and no one's questioning this.
it.
Yeah. Has he been questioned? For this?
No. I'm just saying, in light of things like Savile and whatever else.
Exactly.
Anyone else, you'd be if it wasn't for the marketing, he's got a good marketing team behind him.
Well, Coca-Cola have probably got his back. They must have lawyers that keep anyone quiet. Must be paying all sorts of kids off.
Just hundreds of thousands of millions of kids sitting on his lap and on a 1 day of the year, and it's just no one asks any questions. So it's no wonder that actually captures the filmmakers' imaginations, and there's been quite a few films which have focused on a potential dark version of old St Nicholas.
Do you want to hit us up with it?
Yeah, I mean, we are more limited than we are usually with film genres with this very, very specific subgenre.
Right, it's a bit niche.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a couple of honourable mentions. We've got an indie flick which is a Good Tidings.
Right.
Which is a film I came across fairly recently in preparation for this programme, actually, for this episode, in that it's set place in a homeless shelter charity, and all of a sudden they're invaded by a group of murderous Santa Clauses who try and pick off the charity workers and homeless individuals one by one.
Sounds delightful.
Pretty dark, pretty twisted, but it's certainly worth a watch. And another one, Silent Night, which was a kind of remake from Silent Night, Deadly Night, starring Malcolm McDowell. It's not as good as Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's not got as much charm, but it's certainly definitely got a gore factor there, and it's got its place in kind of alright slasher films. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, to the top 5.
Number 5,
we've got Bill Goldberg as the demonic Santa in Santa's Sleighs. And this is essentially Bill Goldberg plays a demon who loses a bet with an angel, and then he has to spend the next 1,000 years serving as Santa Claus. But guess what? Those 1,000 years are over.
Yep.
And now he's out to wreak bloody revenge. So yeah, some pretty kind of comical slapstick moments in there, but certainly worth a look. And he's a pretty badass Santa. He's a freaking demon, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
He does look badass.
He looks pretty badass, Goldberg. Number 4. I'm going for the Dutch film Saint.
All right.
Yeah,
I've seen that one.
Directed by the hilarious and appropriately named Dick Mass. Merry Dickmas, everybody. Merry Dickmas.
That is the best name ever.
It's awesome, man.
What do you think his Dick Mass is?
If you're gonna have that as your name, it's got to be a pretty girthy mass, really.
Yeah.
You can't lead with that and then have a baby dick. Let's be honest. But yeah, Dick Mass decided to do a Christmas film, and it was it follows basically the myth behind St Nicholas, focusing more on the darker side of punishing children. What actually happens is the ghost of the spirit of St Nic, we find out he was murdered by the villagers. Comes back to, again, bit of a theme here, but exact his revenge, and kill a lot of people. So
fair dues.
An interesting spin on Santa Claus, and again, check it out because definitely an enjoyable movie.
Directed by Dick Mass.
Purely just to say that you've seen a film directed by Dick Mass at Christmas.
That sounds even better. The more times you say directed by Dick Mass.
Dick Mass, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on the show, because honestly, fantastic movie, and we promise we won't be too childish.
We love you, Dick Mass.
We love you, Dick Mass.
And number 3.
I've gone for Rare Export.
Yes.
The Finnish Christmas flick, which again exploring the dark side of Santa Claus. We have demonic, what we think is Santa Claus who's captured initially, and then we actually find out, spoiler alert,
it ain't Santa.
It's his little demon minions.
Yes.
And Santa's one big badass mofo. Probably the freakish, scariest Santa Claus to hit the big screen. But yeah, such a good film. Such a good film. Really enjoyable. Check it out if you've not seen it already. Yeah. Okay.
Number 2,
potentially a little bit controversial, because
okay.
I can imagine some people would have this at the number 1, which I did debate a little bit about.
Did you masturbate?
I had a mass debate over this. But number 2, Christmas Evil. It's a daddy, really. It's the first film that kind of establishes darker movie horror version of a Santa Claus character, and it's a great film. It is honestly kind of really kind of assesses the psychology that could cause somebody to dress up as Santa and go around on a killing spree. There's certain morality behind it, even though it's kind of twisted.
He's dead enough of making them toys.
Yeah, exactly. It's still kind of morality there is focused upon the needs of the children, and trying to kind of, there's almost kind of a socio-political kind of message behind it as well. But really good film, but not number 1.
No. Okay, so what is your number 1?
Number 1, I've gone for Silent Night. Deadly Night.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hugely inspired by Christmas Eve, it has to be said. But it spawned like several sequels. As we mentioned earlier, at the top end of the top 5, a kind of remake of it as well, and it just took things to the next level. It really did. And I won't go into too much depth because we are going to be talking about this with Pablo a little bit later on.
Yeah, indeed.
But if you've never seen Silent Night, Deadly Night, if you've never seen the franchise that is that film,
give it a watch this Christmas. Put it on a Christmas Day even. Get the family round.
Yeah,
watch it.
Get your nan in front of that. She'll love it.
It's well festive.
Who doesn't want to see a little bit of a impalement on a Christmas Day?
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, number 1, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yes. Well, thanks for that, Adam. So yeah, and you listening right now, if you feel you've got an alternate top 5, then do get in touch with us at ftwlpod FB Podcast. That's our Twitter handle. Or, get us on Facebook. If you've got any other suggestions, and don't be afraid. Get in touch. It's Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, we won't bite.
Yes.
Hard.
Well, should we get another round of beers anyway, Adam? And
Let's get the polanders in.
Yeah, before we move on to our first film and food recommendation.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Helga.
Cheers. Bottoms up.
Yeah.
Tell you, man, Germans do awesome beer. For all our German listeners over there, your beer's amazing.
Danke.
I would not live past 40 if I was living in Germany. Just the food's so good, the beer's so good.
Oh, that sausage.
Oh, that Wurst.
Yeah.
Brings the Wurst out of me. Can I do that joke twice?
Well, why not? It's
Why
Christmas.
Not? It's Christmas. It's a season for forgiving. So listeners, forgive me for that.
Yeah. Anyway, so on to our first film and food recommendation.
Yeah.
And basically, listener, we've got a bit of a
confession.
A bit of a confession to make. now we've got a couple of drinks in us. Bit of a confession.
It's time to be open and honest.
Yeah. So we promised you a review of Bad Santa 2.
We did, and we did wholeheartedly intend to do that.
We totally intend. I mean, we based the whole theme of this episode around Bad Santa.
And Bad Santa 2 has just come out, so that's perfect.
But we didn't get to see it.
Life got in the way.
Yeah, life did get in the way. I mean, we were being held by a Nazi at gunpoint.
Yeah, we were too busy trying to escape capture.
Yeah.
And kind of life getting in the way meant that in time for recording and with all the things going on around Christmas, we were unable to see the film.
Yeah.
Which is terrible, I realise.
But you know what? How about, and we need your buy-in for this, how about we just pretend that we did see it?
Yeah.
And we go for it anyway. We've seen the first film, so we know what the first one was.
Yeah. So we're basically going to talk about and just make up as we go along what we thought the film consisted of.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do essentially our made-up film review
using
of Bad Santa 2.
Our own imagination.
Yeah. So we invite you to listen.
Yeah. So here we go.
Cause we're making it up as we go along. Tell me now, baby, is that so wrong?
So, Bad Santa 2. Released this year.
2016, November 2016. We know that much.
Yeah. And the plot of the film is, fueled by cheap whiskey, greed and hatred, Willie teams up once again with his angry little sidekick, Marcus, to knock off a Chicago charity on Christmas Eve. Oh, but I'm not reading this from IMDb.
No, this is just off the cuff. Entirely, I believe.
Off the dome. Because we saw the film.
We saw for the purpose of this, we saw the film.
Yeah, I saw you there.
I'll tell you what, it keeps the original cast there. You got Billy Bob Thornton.
Of course, he was great.
Cox,
he was really good.
Who did it? So yeah, I mean, obviously one of the distinctive parts of this new film is Kathy Bates.
Yeah, of course.
Fantastic, brilliant actress.
Didn't know she was going to be in it.
Yeah, she's Bad Santa's mum. She's Grandma Claus, Mama Claus.
Something like that.
Yeah, because he's Bad Santa, so she's his mum, so it's like Mama Claus. I mean, Kathy Bates, her usual brilliant self. I mean,
of course, she's always,
from Misery to About Schmidt, she's brilliant. I did feel it a little bit unnecessary. The full frontal nudity that we got from Kathy Bates.
I know, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, she did it in About Schmidt, didn't she? She did and like people applauded the fact that she was brave enough to get, kind of the aging boobs out. And, fair play, but you're milking it a little bit now, Kathy. One film, fair enough. It's just unnecessary.
Well, and also the fact she did milk them as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I know she was trying to feed those reindeer, but that was a bit off.
Exactly. I mean, Santa loves a glass of milk and all that, but not straight from the teat.
I mean, I'm all for a bit of comedy, but yeah, that was
that was extreme, even for Kathy.
Sure,
I mean, but credit to her, she continues to push boundaries as she has done throughout her career.
Yeah.
You can't accuse her of just kind of being along for the ride and cashing in that undoubtedly large paycheck.
And I mean, and